Let's find the limit as x approaches infinity. 7 plus 4 times 3 to the x divided by 9 minus 6 times 3 to the x. The official way we teach you using the book is that we need to divide by the leading term of the denominator. So let's divide both numerator and denominator by 3 to the x. Then the new limit becomes 7 divided by 3 to the x. We can write down this multiplied by 3 to the minus x. It just looks nicer this way. And 9 will be multiplied by 3 to the minus x. Plus 4, 3 to the x over 3 to the x becomes 4. Minus 6, 3 to the x to the 3 and 3 to the x just gives you negative 6. And that is the result here. Now I'm just looking at it and I see that 3 to the minus x as x approaches infinity shrinks to 0. You can always see it as 1 over 3 to the x. When x is huge, 1 over huge becomes small. So 1 over infinity is basically 0, even though we're not supposed to write it down. But it's a nice way to memorize the idea. So it will be 0 plus 4 divided by negative 6. So the answer is negative 4 over 6. Which can be simplified as negative 2/3. This is one way of doing it. The faster way of doing it is to compare speeds of the functions here. Limit as x approaches to infinity, a fraction, 7 plus 4, 3 to the x, and 9 minus 6, 3 to the x, has only two functions, one at the top and one at the bottom. Everything else is a constant, so everything depends on the behavior of those two functions at infinity. Do they have the same speed? Does one shrinks faster than another one? And so on. It is legal to write down the equality sign here, and you can check properties of limits and speeds of functions. That we only need to compare those two functions, 3 to the x multiplied by 4, and 3 to the x multiplied by negative 6. That is because those constants in front do not change anything. The only changes can be made by the function itself and multiplied by constant and sign in front of it. Basically, you can imagine that this is infinity and this is infinity. If infinity added to the 7 is still infinity, or minus infinity plus 9 is still minus infinity. Thus, we can kind of ignore those constants. They don't really change anything. And now, as you can see, you can cancel out 3 to the x and 3 to the x since it's not 0. And the answer becomes 4 over minus 6, which is negative 2/3 again. And this is the faster way to approach problems like these.